And now we're going in the direction of the retailers, and we're talking about Clicks, okay? Clicks and Dis-Chem. It's a pity Dis-Chem isn't listed yet. We'll have to bring that conversation in a moment. But Clicks, of course, Cape Town headquartered, health and beauty focused retailer. And it's also involved in the supply of pharmaceuticals utilizing its distribution network. We'll talk a little bit about that's the UPD business. Market capitalization, 23.5 billion rand. Price to earnings ratio, 23.98. Dividend yield, 2.44%. Nice company, done well. David Neal's done a tremendous job. I think he's moving out now of the management role. But even though people thought it was, tired, it's really gone from strength to strength.
Yeah. What is really driving this company, though, Paul, is a company called UPD, United Pharmaceutical Distributors, at the wholesale side. And they've been particularly clever in their tie-ups with Discovery, for deliveries of chronic medication to people and this type of thing. That, I think, was a stroke of absolute genius. I think the stores themselves, perhaps not as good as they could be. I'm just looking at it from a consumer's perspective.
It's funny you say that because my own experience is the one in Melrose Arch. They moved it from a small store to a larger store. And when I got there, I thought, this is fabulous. It's going to be as good as... And then I realized it was just all the old stock in a new premise.
Yeah, that's right. And the other thing, Musica, I've been saying, and I'm sure Mr. Neal isn't going to take great umbrage when I say this, I think it's a dead concept. As we move further and further...
Music CDs are clearly dead, but what they do sell there, to give them credit, are these games, where the game is too big to download online, and it's, like Call of Duty and, Counter-Strike and all that
But
kind
I think
of stuff.
as more and more suburbs get fibre to the home, I think as cheap, reliable, and very fast broadband becomes the norm in South Africa, and I think that's going to happen sooner rather than later. Then I think the death knell will sound for companies like Music.
Yeah. But you've got to hand it to them, notwithstanding the problems inside of the stores. They've done a couple of things right and early. They got the club card in place early, which allows them to see what people are buying where and to kind of manage stock. They've moved in the right direction with regard to some of those nutraceuticals. They did a deal with GNC, which to bring all of that kind of stuff that people use as supplements, because the margins on that stuff is very good. So they got the mix of chocolates and bubble gum and chips and, toasters and hair care products and so on, all in one place. And sales have remained strong. Let's have a look at the share chart. It's like I said earlier, at times people might have thought, like in 2013, 2014, maybe people thought it was a little bit tired, but it's held its own. What about Dis-Chem? Is Dis-Chem ever coming to the market?
Yes,
that's a great company.
I believe it is, and I think it may even be this year sometime.
Yeah.
So it's interesting you mentioned this, Paul, because if I try and compare the shopping experience of Dis-Chem with that of Clicks, in
Dis-Chem's better.
My humble opinion, Dis-Chem is in a different league. It's so much better. And the prices are as good as you find on the high streets in the UK. In other words, significantly cheaper than the supermarkets and significantly cheaper than Clicks as well, on a sustained basis, in my opinion.
Which is why Dis-Chem has grown like crazy over the last few years. And in a way, it's a pity that it wasn't on the public markets that investors could share in that success story. But the Saltzman family, right?
Yes,
they are the controlling interest shareholders. Well, that'd be great if they do bring it to the market.
This, I think, will be a resounding success.
Because you would imagine, as well as it's done, it can continue to do as well or even better. Okay, but as far as Clicks is concerned, Keith Warburton is the new guy. Do you know anything about him?
Yes, he's a good guy. He's been around for a long time. He was at Metcash in the old days, and he's got a tremendous retailing pedigree. Very, very quiet, unassuming sort of character. And look, I think he'll do a good job at Clicks.
And you would imagine then that they're going to catch up, perhaps, to some of the things that Dis-Chem's doing, because that's what's required, really. It's not an enormous incremental change to improve the tills and the stores and the layouts and the stock management and the turn and all of that stuff. It's just...
Well, you say that, Paul. I mean, but, it's there. It's there for everyone to see, and yet they haven't done it. So that's my concern. So while...
Why?
Exactly. So until we see Dis-Chem there as the benchmark, the yardstick, I'm going to be a little bit cautious on Clicks.
Okay, so you're going to go not hot?
Yeah.
I'm going to go hot just because I think this is a scale business and one that can be improved. So maybe Keith Warburton's listening and he's got some plans up his sleeve. So I suppose the comments from the peanut gallery are probably the least of his worries.